gentlemen, it's spring, the sun is out, the weather is a little bit better, and that means that some other fragrances are going into play to make you smell amazing. So in this video, I will show you, gentlemen, the 6 fragrances that I will wear a lot this spring season. So let's not waste any more time and let's begin. The first fragrance on this list is actually not just one fragrance, it's actually 3 fragrances, and that is because I'm talking about samples here that I'm going to wear simultaneously in a layering combo, and these are from BLNDRGRPHY, specifically patchouli mojito, santal painkiller, and jasmin martini. Jasmin martini is not a really good fragrance in my opinion worn on its own, but I think layered with santal painkiller, which is a fruity woody fragrance, and patchouli mojito, which is a sweet fresh effervescent mojito like patchouli fragrance, I think layered with jasmin martini it might add a somewhat bitter edge to it, which I think might be fun to wear on a very hot day in the spring. So I will definitely be layering these 3 fragrances from BLNDRGRPHY to finally empty these samples that I got a little over a year ago now. So I can't wait for there to be a very hot and fun spring day for me to layer these 3 BLNDRGRPHY fragrances with each other. Second up, an actual fragrance on this list is going to be Maison Kurkdjian L'Homme à la Rose. This is, in my opinion, one of the best daily wear fragrances out there on the fragrance market, period. This is a rose fragrance that is specifically designed for men to wear, which has this slightly green dewy rose that has a rose floral edge to it, but at the top it has this very rindy, juicy, lively and sparkling citrusy top, combined with a salt accord at the top that blends with the citrus very well, giving you almost a salty citrus opening that blends with the green dewy rose really well, with some musks as well to give you some lift and airiness. This is fresh, clean, bright, citrusy, and generally such an easy wear. And if you're looking for a fragrance that is very easy to wear and very likable but still has an edge to it and can be a very good signature scent, this one is an amazing one. I love this stuff so much and I can't wait to wear this fragrance more often on my skin. Maison Kurkdjian L'Homme à la Rose lasts 10 to 12 hours, with projection being an arm's length for around half an hour or so, which then dries to a moderate scent bubble for around half an hour more, which then dries to a mild but noticeable skin scent that lingers for a good amount of hours. If you haven't tried MFK L'Homme à la Rose already, please do yourself a favor and do so. And I've given Maison Kurkdjian L'Homme à la Rose a 9.1 out of 10 men's improvement rating. Next up is Tom Ford Electric Cherry. This one has grown on me a little bit. This is one of the few cherry fragrances in my opinion that you can wear in the high heat and potentially in the spring and summer without it being too sweet or too cloying. Yes, this has somewhat of a harsh, airy, musky hairspray like quality to it, but it also has a fruity cherry scent to it, and combined with the jasmine sambac in here is going to give you this floral, fresh, soft nuance to it to give you somewhat of a complex scent, but not really. This is super easy to wear, very fun, not too serious, and perhaps something that is very unisex in my opinion. If you're looking for a cherry fragrance that you can wear in the spring and summer, in my opinion, Tom Ford Electric Cherry is a really nice one for that. On my skin, Tom Ford Electric Cherry lasts 5 to 6 hours, with projection being moderate for around an hour or so, which then quickly dries to a mild skin set. This isn't the strongest fragrance in the world, but I find it to be a fun fragrance that isn't too overpowering or too overwhelming, and I've given Tom Ford Electric Cherry a 7.9 out of 10 men's improvement rating. Next up is going to be Acqua di Parma Buongiorno. This fragrance is such an easy reach. It's such a versatile fragrance and one that I find to be very fun yet very professional. This is going to be an aromatic, fresh, clean fragrance with a very bright and citrusy opening, with there being a hint of some fresh spiciness from basil, but especially at the top you're going to get hit by a very high dosage of mint, which is going to give you this cooling, minty and fun blend with the citrus here that can be found in fragrances like Sergio of Torino 21, which I find to be a great fragrance as well. This is in that ballpark, but it's slightly more grown up, it's slightly more sophisticated, with that aromatic, more old school Acqua di Parma Parma touch to it. This is such an easy reach, and out of my whole fragrance collection, you can see how much I've worn this stuff already. I am going to wear the heck out of this one because it's so easy to wear, it's compliment pulling, and it is so versatile. You can wear this to the gym, to work, to do some chores, anywhere, and I'm going to do exactly that with this fragrance here. On my skin, Acqua di Parma Buongiorno lasts 8 to 10 hours, with projection being moderate for a couple of hours, but on some people this has an insane sillage that lingers for many hours on end, which at some point dries to a mild but noticeable skin scent. I really enjoy Buongiorno. It's one of my favorites from Acqua di Parma, and I've given Acqua di Parma Buongiorno an 8.3 out of 10 minutes improvement rating. Next up, a heavy hitter because this is somewhat of an expensive fragrance, and that is Roja Burlington 1819. This fragrance is fresh, clean, bright, and very citrusy. It almost has this sparkling, fizzy, organic smelling like citrus fragrance, which I only feel Roja can encapsulate because of the very high quality that you're getting here, that is perfectly blended with this very complex vanilla, tobacco, and cumin, giving you a sweeter, darker, and somewhat of an animalic, spicy, leathery touch in the base. This fragrance is very complex. It starts very fresh, clean, and effervescent, citrusy like at the top, but the longer you let it dry, the darker, spicier, and perhaps animalic this becomes. This is not animalic and dirty on all people, but on some people this can dry very dirty, and the vanilla here gives you a very sweet, smooth blend that makes this scent somewhat subtle in the base. But this one is so fun to wear. It's very versatile, it's fresh with an edge to it, and definitely of very high quality, but you expect that for the price tag. Not the strongest fragrance in the world, but one of the better citrusy fragrances out there in my opinion. Definitely check this one out if you have the money to spend on a very expensive citrusy fragrance. On my skin, Roja Burlington 1819 lasts 8 to 10 hours, with projection being an arm's length for around an hour or two, which then dries to a moderate scent bubble that lingers for around an hour more, with fine sillage that dries to a mild but noticeable skin scent that changes a lot from top to base. I'm going to wear this a lot this year because I want to smell very approachable but still with an edge to it, and I've given Roja Burlington 1819 a 9.1 out of 10 minutes improvement rating. Last but definitely not least, one that you might have expected already is going to be Goldfield and Banks Ingenious Ginger. I've talked about this so much lately because this is a true banger. This is one of the best daily wear fragrances out there, which I mentioned in my best versatile fragrance video, which you can check out up here in the corner. This is bright, fizzy, sparkly, and fresh with this citrus and champagne accord with the ginger here, giving you a very sour yet fresh opening that has this very sparkling and fizzy opening, which is very lively, very bright, and very playful, that dries down to a soft, floral, almost cashmere-like scent with some vanilla sweetness in the base. This is so fun, so easy to wear, so versatile with this fun, bubbly, sparkling champagne twist. If you're looking for one of the best and strongest fragrances that you can wear on a daily basis while also having a compliment factor, this is one to consider. On my skin, Goldfield and Banks Ingenious Ginger lasts 15 plus hours, with projection being an arm's length for 1 to 2 hours plus, which then dries to a moderate scent bubble that lingers for a couple of more hours, which then dries to a mild but noticeable skin scent that lingers for many hours on end. This is beautiful stuff, and as I mentioned many times now, it's one of the best from Goldfield and Banks, and I've given Goldfield and Banks Ingenious Ginger a 9.5 out of 10 minutes improvement rating. Gentlemen, that was my list of fragrances I'm going to wear a lot this spring. What do you guys think? Comment down below with your thoughts down there. I would love to see what you have to say. Are you going to wear some of these fragrances yourself? Have you tried some of these? these? Are some of these new to you, or are you going to wear something completely different this spring? I would love to see what suggestions and picks you're going to have down in the comment section below. I would love to see what you're going to wear. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the Men's Improvement YouTube channel for more videos about fragrances, grooming, style, fashion, skincare, fitness, watches, everything that will make you, gentlemen, the best possible versions of yourselves. The last few things that I want to ask you, gentlemen, is to smile more because it's free, and I want you to watch these two videos right here. This one here, let's go to my latest upload, whereas this one up here is going to be a video that the YouTube algorithm thinks you will enjoy.